So can you believe that 2024 is coming to an end? 2025 is right around the corner, and this is the perfect time of year if you're a local small business owner to really reflect on what has been and also start dreaming about the future. You know, in this video, what I'm going to do is break down a couple of mindset hacks that have helped me a lot on making sure that the goals you set make sense for you, because what I've found is sometimes we accidentally aim at the wrong things. We set goals that don't even really mean anything to us. We just kind of feel like we're supposed to set them, and it messes everything up. And it's unnecessary. So that's what we're going to talk about. Here's my question for you. What is it that you want? When I do private consulting with people, the very first thing I talk about is what they want. Sometimes I call it a primary objective, or I'll say, you know, what's our success criteria for our time that we're going to spend together? Meaning, how will either of us know if we did it, if we won, if we checked the box, right? Because we need to know what we're aiming at. And what I've found over many, many years is that most people don't even know what they want. Maybe that's true for you. You have a few kind of loose ideas of what you want, but you don't know what you want. What probably comes easier to you is knowing what you don't want. So sometimes when I talk to people, I'm like, well, what do you want? And then they'll tell me a list of things that they don't want. Isn't that weird? Humans are weird. And they say, well, I don't want to struggle anymore. I don't want to have debt anymore. You know, I don't want my wife to keep nagging me. They say all these things, right? Knowing what you don't want is not that helpful. We need to actually spend time dreaming again on what we even want. I think also sometimes really good people feel guilty for wanting something. They feel guilty for dreaming about something, and you don't need to do that. Did you know that the word desire means of the king? Like D-E-D and then sire, S-I-R-E, of the king. What does that mean? What it means is that the desires that you have, the good desires to serve people and change the world and do big things, you didn't even put them there. God put them inside of you. But then we feel guilty for even thinking the thought that maybe we could try to actually attain that thing. So I don't know what bucket you fall into. Either you're just not that motivated, you don't set goals, or maybe you set goals based on other people's expectations of you. That's another big tranche of people. Your business goals are basically meeting mom and dad's expectations or your spouse's expectations, but you never even really thought about what you want. Or there's a group of people that feel guilty just for desiring anything and they avoid goal setting altogether. Let me tell you a story that'll illustrate this point. So years ago, I was working with a gentleman and I asked him, what do you want? Why did you give me a bunch of money? And what are we trying to do that justifies you giving me all that money? And he said, Josh, I want to get to 5 trucks. And he had a local service company. And so he had like 2 trucks at the time, I think, and he wanted to get to 5. Now I know, because I've done this a long time, that he doesn't even want 5 trucks. What he wants is what he thinks he's gonna get because he has 5 trucks. And so as a consultant, I'll use a technique that I'll share with you. It's called a so that bridge. It's really powerful. And so I asked him, I said, okay, you want 5 trucks. You want 5 trucks so that what? And he thought it was a stupid question, right? And this is about a 45-minute call. It took, a good 20 minutes just to get through these first couple of so that's. And he was kind of frustrated, like, well, that's a weird question. I want 5 trucks so that I can make more money, obviously, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. Want more money? That's cool. That's not bad. That's good. Now, you want more money so that what? And he's kind of getting a little irritated and he's like, well, because I need more money. The reason he got irritated is because after I kind of got the answer out of him, here's what he said. He said he wanted 5 trucks so that he could make more money, so that he could pay off his debt. He didn't want me to know that he had debt. Now here's the thing, I've been very poor, I've been bankrupt, I don't care that this person has debt, but he had a lot of shame around this fact. And even though it's no big deal to me, to him it was, and that's why he was so resistant to answering it. Now once we got to there, I'm like, okay, we're making progress, because the guy doesn't care about 5 trucks, he cares about eliminating the shame of the debt, right? So I asked him, you want to pay off your debt so that what? And he told me so his wife will stop nagging him. True story, okay? And I'm getting real close to the center of the onion at this point, okay? I'm doing a good job, I'm proud of myself. I'm like, okay, you want 5 trucks so that you can make more money, and you want more money so that you can pay off your debt, and you want to pay off your debt so that your wife will stop nagging you. I said, hey, you want your wife to stop nagging you so that what? And the guy started crying. And he got all choked up and teary-eyed, and he could barely talk, and he said, I want her to stop nagging me so that she'll trust me again. And here's the lesson. He was about to spend a year of his life trying to get to 5 trucks because what he really wanted was something that was sitting right next to him. I told him, I said, there's things we can do today to begin reestablishing trust with your wife. And even though you're grumpy, I think we can win her over. Let's talk about some strategies for that. And yeah, we can get 5 trucks as well. We can pay off the debt too, but it's so important and so valuable to know what it is you actually want in the first place, because If you aim at nothing, you'll hit it. And then there's people that actually win the wrong game. You know, maybe the guy gets 5 trucks and he loses his marriage. What did he win exactly? You can win in business and still lose. I forget the guy that coined the quote, but no amount of success in business can compensate for failure in the home. So as we end out this year and we start daydreaming about what we want next year, I want to encourage you to think bigger, to be careful sharing your goals with just anybody. Keep it private. The Bible says don't cast your pearls before swine. These are precious things, but have the courage to think bigger and to make sure that you're actually aiming at the right thing in the first place. I hope this has been valuable to you and it maybe caused you to think differently, because all of the wealth that you're going to create in your future, it starts in your mind. Everything in the whole world is created twice. First in your mind, then it can manifest in the world. And so when you're thinking about 2025, what should reality look like 12 months from now? If you and I were standing talking to each other, looking backwards at the last year, and you and I were 12 months in the future, what would have happened for you to say that was the best year ever? That's what we want to aim at. And that's it. I hope you get value out of this. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. And until next time, take care. God bless.